what I thought. The music was going to be too loud. There we go. Is that better? Can you guys hear us?
Voice is on. Music's too loud. I hate the delay on chats.
There we go.
This is a thing.
Okay, go down. Alright. Music should be really low at the moment. We bumped up the audio.
Is that better?
Perfect. All right,
Okay,
cool.
awesome.
So, start over. Hey guys, this is our first AMA in 2020 for CSC. So happy and so excited to be here and talk to you guys. I need to remember the camera's right there. I was looking this way for a second.
It's because the chat's over there.
I know. I love looking at the chat. So first, I wanted to introduce a new member of our team, Shelby. She's going to be our new community manager for CSC and MLBC later this year when it launches. So we're really looking forward to having her aboard of the team. She's ramping up on the game. She just started this week, so maybe introduce yourself a bit.
Yeah, hey guys. So as you said, my name's Shelby. I am the new community manager for Lucid Sight as a whole, but CSC as one of those titles. A little bit of my background. I've been in the games industry for several years at this point. I worked at Machinima primarily on esports editorial originally, and then original content. After that, I worked for a company out here in LA called Immortals. They have an Overwatch team, they've got a CSGO team based out of Brazil, and they had a Clash Royale team. So
what you're saying is you have a lot of esports background, and we have two very sport-like games?
Something like that. Jeez, I wonder how that's going to work.
This is going to be exciting times. All right, well, great. Thank you so much. I'll let you go for this stream, but next one's all you.
Yeah, guys, I'll be back. So have fun with this man.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah. All right, everyone. Let's just get resituated here. So, I'm glad you guys could join us for CSC 2020 update here. I got a ton of questions from you. Thank you, Ryan and Kyle and Mermagic for helping organize all this. And I thought this time while we're on stream, it would be fun. It would be fun if I actually had CSC open and was going through it a bit while we chatted about it. So, I jumped to one of my favorite systems in the game here, Barnard Star, and nothing really going to be showing you new today. This is the current live build, so if you happen to be on right now and playing while you're watching the stream, come on in. I'll give you a shout out if I see you. You should be able to find where I'm at. We'll take it from there. CSC 2020. A couple things I wanted to go over first. Kind of a breakdown of 2019, what we've done, what we're looking to do moving forward, and some more exciting news that we have coming up. Some of it I can't announce just yet, but stay tuned. We have some really cool announcements for this year coming forth with CSC and some other partnerships we have formed. But we can start with some post 2019 numbers. So since launch of Alpha in 2019, not including all the signups of players we had before, which was about 18,000, we've had 4,000 new commanders sign up into CSC. We have new players coming in every day. Thank you so much for our community for helping them, especially since there's not much of a tutorial system right now. But that should be fixed in the next few updates here, so we're looking forward to seeing these community numbers grow. Along with that, we hit our top concurrent users. It was a couple weeks ago on a Saturday. Total of 170 concurrent users were playing CSC across all the different systems, including both Steam numbers and standalones. There's still quite a few of you guys who are playing on standalone version, so that's awesome. Thank you so much. And we're looking forward to seeing where CSC grows. We're looking to launch CSC 1.0 this year. We're going to get out of Steam Early Access, and we're open it wide for everyone to play, so it's going to be great. So to start with my updates, I got a lot of notes here before I get to the questions, so bear with me as we go through these. Note 1 here. So Marketplace update. Biggest feature we launched was 0.7.1. I know we skipped 0.0, but we had so many iterations before that. We just got to 1 before we got it out. Marketplace 0.7.1 was introduced just over 14 days ago, about 15 days exactly. And in that time, we did an unbelievable amount of volume. I mean, to put into perspective, in that 14 days, $100,000 of USD value was traded in our marketplace. This was a mix of both GFC and GRP items using the current value of each item to come up with that $100,000 number. On top of that, over 8,132 items were exchanged. This is in 14 days. To put in perspective, on OpenSea, so far CSC has traded approximately 11,000 items. And then finally, and my favorite number, 8.4 million items have been traded on the exchange so far. This is counting every unit of ore, every quantity of an item traded. Absolutely amazing numbers to see, and definitely shows that the marketplace has really added a lot to the game. One thing we've seen definitely from marketplace implementation in the last 14 days is over a 30% increase in our daily active users. So people are coming, staying longer, engagement is up, which is wonderful to see, and we're looking forward to basically enabling the Ethereum marketplace features later today. Let's see if there's anyone around me. Oh yeah, there's Butter King. Hey, kind of shout out to you. Where are you at? I see. Okay, you're coming close. You're staying out in the distance here, kind of stealthily sneaking up. So welcome. And we'll stop over here and we'll get back to my questions. So thank you, Butter King, for joining. Let's see here. So the next thing up. So that's our volume numbers for the last few days. Later today, actually, you guys will start seeing your blockchain sales history being incorporated with the CSC sales data. So if you're logged online, you've traded a lot on OpenSea, you might get a ton of notifications saying sale complete or a new item sold. You could ignore these. These are past transactions. We're importing all 11,000 blockchain transactions into your CSC transaction list, so you'll all have it in one place. Moving forward, you will now get live updates as OpenSea items sell. In CSC, usually about a 15-minute delay from sale before you'll get the notice in game. But this should help let everyone organize their overall sales both on OpenSea, our CSC marketplace, and our soon-to-be ETH CSC marketplace. This is a very intimidating ship you got there. One of my favorite designs. Kudos to our art team again for creating such a beautiful ship with these oases and fun stuff here. Let's see here. Actually, the horizon here. Alrighty. So next thing on the list, ETH marketplace ETH. So we finally got to a very stable point in our marketplace design. This last 24 hours after our last server update, we have not seen any more errors. We're looking pretty bug-free. We're going to take a look and make sure we're not getting any more tickets and any more issues. If that's the case, we're looking to deploy Marketplace as soon as next week, if not earlier this week. So it's right there. We're at the finish line. We just wanted to make sure our exchange system and engine was working. It was handling all potential errors before we turn on ETH transactions. So ETH transactions on this marketplace will work through a two-step process. You'd be in-game client, you'll create your contract like you do normally, but instead of your contract posting right away, you'll get a second notice with an Ethereum address. You need to send the money to fulfill your contract. So if you're trying to buy or create a buy order for 100 Trilite and you want to pay 0.0001 ETH per unit of Trilite, you could do so, but to do so you're going to have to fill that contract into an escrow address to make it active. So you create the contract, you send the Ethereum to it. Once our backend scarcity engine detects Ethereum's there in the escrow address, it will then enable that contract for users to buy from. Same way if you want to buy an item with Ethereum, you double click on it or you create the buy order. You had to fill that contract. Once that contract's filled, then it gets processed through the engine, matched up, and then the Ethereum is processed, removed from escrow, deductions are made for marketplace fees, and returned to the source addresses. Hope that makes sense. I went through it pretty quick, but it'll make a lot more sense in game. And I think someone's shooting around here. Oh, we got another one here. So we got MK Dragon. Hey there. Where are you at? Let's see here. So many ships. Oh, wow, there's two. Wow, everyone just seems to love the horizon here. It's a good ship. Alrighty, so we'll keep going there. I'm gonna go this way and hide a little bit. Ah, I'm being attacked. Well, luckily I'm in my handy dev ship here. It has 500,000 hit points, so good luck with that. Let's go to the next item on here. So other updates coming to the marketplace. So this is going to be really exciting. We're going to have a price estimator that will appear in either the next minor update or the minor update after that. This will give you a GRP estimated price, a GFC estimated price, and a USD estimated price for every item in the game, or at least any item we have any sales history for. We determine the USD estimated price based on either the GFC value of the item, so how much it costs when you're trading. If that item was ever traded by anyone for GFC or Ethereum, we use that to derive what its value is in USD. So this will be really exciting because you're not only going to be able to see individual items' potential value, and this will fluctuate as the game marketplace progresses, but you're also going to see your total collection's overall value. So you will have a value of your collection, so you would know, like, all right, I got 10,000 Trilite ore, how much is that worth? Oh, it looks like this 10,000 ore might be worth $5. So it's going to be a really exciting feature, and we hope it'll help users and get price better on the marketplace. And also, as the game progresses, we get more users in, usage goes up, values go up and down accordingly. This will adjust live with that data. Let's see here. 500,000, so someone's saying, can you take me out? You know, it is possible to destroy this ship. 500,000 isn't an infinite amount, especially if I don't have any shields and I'm not fighting back. Though I could always just cloak, and then, you can't see me anymore. Unless someone's smart enough to bring a cloak disruptor. Let's see if anyone will disrupt me. I'm going to sit here and wait. Let's go. Next on the list. So that's Ethereum update. Oh, transaction history. We will soon have a transaction history per item based on both Ethereum, GRP, and GFC transactions. And then we'll be updating the marketplace to have daily volume, historical price. So you'll see a lot more analytic data coming in that will help people make better decisions when they're selling items or buying or selling items in the marketplace. So that's basically it for my marketplace update. Next update I wanted to hit here, and I'll get to the questions at the end. I think a lot of my update might answer some questions, but we'll get there. Next update I wanted to hit here was NPCs. So we have noticed, and we've been monitoring NPC design and how people are combating the current NPCs in the game and their difficulty curve, and NPCs are definitely overdue for a balance. So we're actually working on that right now, where all NPCs in the game are going to get refactored to make them easier to kill in certain areas, harder to kill in other areas. So you're going to get more complex, more difficult NPCs coming into the game for your senior players, and new players are going to have a much easier time in local systems. So right now, if anyone who's currently just mission running in Soul and you're an advanced player, that might end soon because Soul's going to get a nerf to its the quality of the missions you're going to see there. And this is going to happen across the game, basically moving a lot of the more difficult, rewarding missions that will have some more significant drops, we'll get into later, into deeper reaches of space. So that's the NPC update. Along with that, NPCs are getting refactored for how they drop loot. We're going to add a rolling chance mechanic for rare drops into NPCs. This will let us seed now new modules, new items. Oh, I see what you're trying to do there. Trying to hit me while I'm cloaked. Just gonna keep moving. Okay. New modules, new items are going to be seeded through NPC drops and our soon-to-come discovery mechanic, which I will get into in a little bit. With that, we've completely refactored how we manage spot NPCs. So NPCs that are generated when you're mining, right now it only happens in a few select systems. Later this week, hopefully, or early next week, this will be deployed across the game to every system, and NPCs will now not just spawn as a single type, but they could spawn as fleets. So you get NPCs of various types coming at you in predefined fleets that we create. So this should create a lot more fun and engagement, and again, loot drops for them are going to become much more rewarding for your more veteran players, and even for the beginning players looking to get some just basic items to get off the ground. One thing Ryan has done a great job, Ryan JK, our community moderator, is he spent a lot of time playing with the SE ships and giving us great reports of what it takes for an SE ship to actually progress in the game. And from that, there's a lot of updates that we have coming. Ship-specific bonuses we've been promising for a while. We've gone through some more testing this week. I think it's almost ready for us to deploy. With that, I think the SE ships are going to get some damage buffs just to give early players, because of the limitations of their ship, the ability to tackle a little bit more complex NPCs without redesigning and redistributing weapon systems completely. With that, almost every weapon's gotten a little bit of tweak this time around. For you Photonic Cannon fans, Photonic Cannons have been buffed again. They're coming close to where they were on their last version, but this is going to be offset by increased power cost and a complete update to how the shield system works to make it more in line to how the design spec should have been working from the start. So there will be some great balance, but you're going to be able to still kick some butt with that Photonic Cannon. Especially since there's not going to be any more of those, so hold them while you can, and hopefully you don't get blown up. And we'll get into destruction here in a little bit. The next is new NPCs. So we have several new NPC styles that will be coming to the game. I'm going to start here and switch over to my other screen. So we've talked about organic creatures for a while, and I know we teased it for a little while. We had an organic spawn that you couldn't attack, and we have about 4 or 5 varieties of organic creatures ready and already in client, just not spawning for you guys. And I know everyone wants that space wheel and they want to tackle it. We really want it to roll out with purpose. We want it to roll out where it makes sense and why you're hunting them or defending them. So bear with us while we get that together. This is actually one of the newer NPCs that you'll probably see before our fully organics. These are sub-organic creatures. They're a mix of the drones and organic creatures, and it'll play into a plot line that we'll have in our lore about these Van Neumann probes that have now mixed with some of these organic creatures you're going to see later. And this is kind of like the end result. So this is going to be a really fun NPC. This is actually animations that will be in-game. So looking forward to getting that drop for you guys and enjoy. So I can kick back to my other view here. I had one more. We are doing some variations on NPCs that we've seen, but I'll leave that for now. And let's see. Let's go back to the game, see what's going on. Oh, well, a lot of people are hunting. Who else we got here? I got Magic. Hey there. DJ Kinkle. And Space Pirate Hawk. Who's Space Pirate Hawk? That's a cool name. Well, shout out to all you guys. Looks like you're having a blast in here around the Space Wheel skeleton. Can't wait. Let's go back. Alright. So many people trying to find me. No one brought a Cloak Disruptor. Let's find out if the Cloak Disruptor is working as expected. I'm still sitting here, waiting to be disrupted. Next item here on our list. We got the NPC system. Oh, okay. Big change. So one of the most difficult and tedious parts of the game, something we've gotten a lot of feedback from new players, is travel. And by design, CSC is meant to take hours to travel between systems, and we've mitigated that by letting you send out ships to different locations. But in the end, we definitely realize, at least in the start of the game, if you're not going to a system that has something really complex... Ooh, who just showed up? Hold on one second here. Nope, still Space Pirate. Alright. If you're not going to a system that's really complex, you're going to need a better way of getting from one point to another. So we are going to extend the jump gate system and refactor it to work a little bit different. So we will still have a universal jump gate option, a jump gate that can connect to any gate in our network and get you anywhere instantaneously. But this is going to be now limited to specific gates, and it will have a currency requirement, either GRP, GFC, or TCF. We're still working out which one. This is a quick travel. If you want to just get somewhere fast and you have the GFC, GRP, or TCF to burn, go for it. Along with that, we're going to expand the jump gate network to be a little bit more like a network of gates. So Sol System will get 5 gates. Each gate will connect to one system. These gates will only go back and forth between those one systems. Once you get to another system, let's say Proxima, you need to go to the next gate, and that will require you traveling across system to find the gate, which will be on the map, and use that gate to get to your next system. What this will let you do, and let us do actually, is let us extend the range of a play session. So now instead of being stuck into the 8 or 9 gates that we currently have in the game. We might have 30, 40, 50, 100 gates, but they're unidirectional or bidirectional, going between two systems only, and then you have to find another gate to connect. This will let us create a gate network, and this gate network will extend through core space and into the edges of fringe. Deep fringe will still require raw FTL or Q jump travel, but this will let players be able to progress through the game in a single session without long waiting periods. The interesting thing about this system, you have to travel from point to point with the gates. So getting into a gate, if you know, might drop you at the edge of Sol system. It still might take you 20 minutes to fly across Sol to find to the next gate to go to the next system. This is going to add some layer of complexity, but also add a little bit of danger. So because now you'll have you'll have to travel across vast areas of space, the possibility of random NPC spawns, random NPC pirates pulling you out of FTL will exist. Not only that, other players pulling you out of FTL can happen. Since gates are fixed, it'll be relatively easy for players to pick positions between two gates to camp out. So you got to be strategic on how you maneuver through the world. Remember to scout and be cautious. So while this will make travel in a single session a great distance much quicker, it also adds a layer of gameplay complexity, which hopefully will make it more fun for everyone. So yes, gate camps is going to be a thing, unfortunately. You could still use the super gates. You could still Q jump or FTL between systems. So there's a benefit if you just power up your ship with FTL boosters, are able to make direct FTL flights between systems in 10-15 minutes. You might be safer that way because you enter at a random point, harder to gate or harder to camp. But if you're just trying to get from point A to point B and you don't want to wait, now you have an option on how to do that. Alrighty. Metro cards. I like that idea. No Metro cards yet. We talked about buffs for ships. Difficulty refactors. So, this is happening relatively soon, within the next week or two. All systems are going to get a massive refactor of difficulty. Spawn points will be adjusted. Ooh, someone fired an EMP. Who just did that? Was it close enough to decloak me? Oh, there we go. Someone did it. I am now decloaked. I am FTL disrupted. That was pretty good. Good work there. Who was that? Oh, Ryan. You cheated. You watched the stream to see where I was. I'm sure everyone did, but that's fine. Good times. Back to my document here so we don't get too distracted. Difficulty refactor. So game difficulty, we'll actually publish the difficulty. We will have an in-game news system, which I'll talk about in a second here, that will give new players and old players alike a better roadmap to know, ooh, wow, another EMP, to know exactly where the difficulty is going to be. So you know, like, hey, I want to take on harder missions, or I'm looking for rare loot drops. These are the systems where I'm going to find spawns, both random spawns, encounter-based spawns, and missions of difficulty. So good times. You guys will see that coming soon. We'll post an update when that comes out, but that's it. We're at 74 viewers. This is great. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Next. News section. So in-game communication is going to be improved. Instead of depending on Discord and our other posts, you will see full posts, details, lore, in-game events outlined in the GFI Network information panel. Right now, GFI Network is just the marketplace. That's going to get several other tabs and sub-tabs to let you really dig into the game. So things you could look for is a news section, live market statistics, and in-game mail to provide safe and secure trading coming soon. Trading will not be in the 0.7 release. Look at it for it in 0.8 or 0.9, but will be TBD on that. NPC loot drops we talked about. Skins. Alright. So everyone's seen the 2 skins we enabled on the marketplace. We have a total of 20 plus skins coming to the game within the next month. These skins will be broken down into rarity. There will be some that might not appear for a long time, and there'll be some that are very common. We will be making skins out of the most common ships, so definitely expect the Voyager, the Vulcan Voyager, to have a ton of variety, and we'll grow out from there. Skins are very ship type limited at the moment. There are some skins that could work on any ship in a certain class that changes the overall look, and there are very few, actually none in this first set, universal skins that completely change the look of any ship into a different type of ship. The ship's stats stay the same, but they will look different. And taking a moment here, speaking of ships, we have some exciting new ships I wanted to show. These are going to be for our pirate faction in the game. They're not going to be for sale, but they will be for potential discovery. It'll be tricky, but you'll see here. Let me switch my camera. So here are some pirate faction ships. We have 3 of them right now that you'll start seeing merged into the lore of the game and into missions coming up. These are ships built by a fringe coalition of pirates. They no longer have any relationship with GFI or Core Space. They will be based out of the fringe stations that are currently in the game. And as you can see, they're very utilitarian. They're kind of put together from parts, but they do have those really cool emissive pirate skulls on there. I think I have a few more of these. One second. Here is another variety of ships. They're going to be both Corsair and Prometheus class ships that will be coming in here. And then I think I have one more. Here's one of the smaller ships. So these are full pirate constructed ships that will be mainly NPCs and some small potential for, or rare potential for discovery and manufacturing. So one of the few items when we go into crafting that users will be able to find and potentially corner the market with. So good luck for you guys on trying to find all those. So those will be coming soon. Talked about skins. In regards to skins will be distributed in 2 ways: rare drops and in crates. As we've talked about, crates for actual modules will be deprecated by 1.0, no longer available. It'll be up to missions, rare finds, drops, user market, crafting to get most of the modules in the game, other than new ones we introduce. For the most part, skins and ships won't be available through our crate system, except for some limited time events, include a few we're going to have this year. Let's go to next, mining update. So mining is going to be a core part of the game, and one reason we've been a little bit slow on updating mining the way we would like is primarily balancing out how crafting works. Our design team's been working non-stop to get crafting to a good place where we're comfortable with it, and where we feel the timing for creation of ships and the resources required to create ships are aligned. You're going to see a new set of components appear in the FT marketplace. They're going to be ship components, everything from thrusters to framework to bulkheads. These need to be crafted in your workshops using resources combined to create these items. Once you have those items are going to be used to actually craft the end result ship. So it's going to be a very interesting process. Crafting is going to be pretty deep. Ship crafting is going to take time. We're talking at the lowest end a day, assuming you craft every component individually. You could always speed it up by having multiple workshops working to create your components. To I think the longest craft time right now, just for the raw components, we did a calculation of everything but harvesting. So assuming you already have all the raw ore, it'll take roughly between 90 and 120 days if you're using one refinery at 100% to create all the resources you need for a capital ship. And that does not include the final craft time for the capital ship, which could be several weeks as well. So crafting is going to be deep. It'll be difficult to make ships, but this should also create a great value opportunity. And then for the entrepreneurial player who goes out and actually gets more refining slots and workshops and crafting slots, doing things in parallel will save you time. So it's going to be up to you to figure out how to do it, create supply lines, and move equipment. Along those lines, fair warning, when we rebalance the game, it's not going to be very profitable to stay in the core systems. You're going to have to move further out. Someone needs to start moving supplies away from Sol and Proxima into some of those further systems just to make it a little bit easier for users to change at loadouts and buy new equipment. We will be experimenting before we go full persistent and destruction with a cooldown on destroyed assets, meaning if your ship gets blown up, your modules might be in a cooldown for a fixed period of time as an early experimentation on what it's going to be like when we have persistent modules. So if you do like to play a lot and you get destroyed a lot, try not to get destroyed anymore. Learn to retreat. 2, when your modules get blown up, you might need to buy some new modules or wait for the cooldown to pass until we enable full persistence, and then those modules are effectively gone. We'll go into a little bit more detail here on how that works. So let's take a look at the next update. Oh, mining update. Got distracted here. Ice mining will be coming. You will look for specific ice asteroids in asteroid belts. They are random occurrence. They won't always be there. They will change out from time to time. You mine it with ice beams will give you better yields. You get the ice. The ice resource will be required for a lot of new crafting recipes you'll see coming in. Asteroids are going to be randomly seeded with vegetation. So for those who are in some of our early pre-alphas, you remember what vegetative asteroids look like. They will appear. You have the ability to use harvesting beams only to harvest these asteroids. You get the raw organic material from them, which is great. Once you have... Wow, who keeps throwing the EMP? Actually, I'm going to move here real quick. That's quite distracting. How many EMPs do you have in your ship? It's good times. Alright, go this way. Whew. Alright, let's go over here. So, far course. Alright. So, vegetation asteroids. You'll have to find these asteroids, harvest the vegetation they have in there, and then the vegetation can also be used to seed other asteroids. So if you find a hidden belt and you want to create a farm, you could take that asteroid raw organic, convert it into a consumable that you could deploy in a belt where if you come back in a certain amount of hours, you'll be able to see that the asteroids around where you seeded now produce that vegetation as well, and there'll be a cycling process for this. This mechanic might go a little bit deeper past 1.0, or it might even be delayed till post 1.0, but for sure vegetation asteroids will exist, seeding TBD. So harvesting beams will kick in, and random seeds. We have deep core mining. Very simple, actually. There'll be a new scanner type available. The scanner will tell you what the deep core content of an asteroid is. Deep core is usually a single resource. Certain ships already have deep core beams. Other ships might need to discover that recipe somewhere in space. But the deep core beams will basically give you massive yields of resources out of this asteroid. These deep core beams, well, the trick in the game here is going to be finding the right type of resource. If you find a deep core deposit of trilite, consider yourself very lucky. I think the current spawn rate's like 1 in 2 or 3 million asteroids, give or take. So it's rare to find, but if you're lucky enough to find a deep core trilite asteroid, you'll have quite a bit if you can carry it all back. Let's see here. There is a redesign coming to the loadout screen. That's coming pretty soon, so I'm not going to get too much into that. You'll see it when it happens. Anti-cheat. So we've been getting a lot of great cheat reports, DLL hacks. We're aware of the issue. We know how to fix the issue. We're not fixing it right away other than the critical ones that we feel are game-breaking, mainly because our fixes will make it harder for us to debug the game as we're still in alpha. Once we come close to post-alpha, probably 0.9, we will start using obfuscated DLLs and more tightly encrypted DLL systems, so it will be more difficult for people to hack the local DLLs. We will start implementing independent monitoring systems in the game that will look for anyone modifying values in memory. It will then kick the users out with the eventual ban on playtime. So I appreciate everyone testing this out right now. Thank you for the reports. once this new system goes in place, you will get reported to us. Just if you're just trying to see if it's possible or trying to figure out something new, that's fine. Let us know. Let us know that's what you're trying to do. Just don't cheat the game or be prepared for a ban. A lot of these anti-cheat updates will be coming out in our next 2 minor patches, so prepare for that. And that was a lot of the 0.7 stuff I want to talk about, and I still have pages to go, so we got lots of notes. How long have we been streaming? This has been fine. Let's go to 0.8. I'm going to go a little bit quicker here so we don't get stuck. 0.8, we're going to have crafting coming, so stay tuned for that. I want to touch on the salvage mechanic. Some of you who have looked into the FT marketplace has seen salvage items, drone parts, creature parts, ship wreckage. Salvage is basically a fancy loot box. When you find these salvage items, you'll take them to a station. There'll be a special area where you can consume these, and the number of salvage items you consume together improve your odds of a rare item drop out of that salvage. This is a 0.8 feature, probably later in the 0.8 series. Just keep in mind, you might start seeing salvage items drop sooner than that. Just no use case for them. Hold on to them or sell them. Might be worth it. You might not want to roll one salvage item. It might be worth to sell it for a few GRP, GFC, or some ETH. Player destruction will also create a salvage item. This player salvage item will have some special properties. First property is in core system. There's a 3-hour lock or a 2-hour lock. Can't remember the exact hours we have on here. Basically, that means that player has the ability in core system to come back and recover it, and no one else can collect it. This salvage item only has a percentage of modules that they had in their ship. The actual roll is between 10 to 75% of modules in that ship may exist in the salvage item. There is no guarantee it will or will not. You just have to pick it up, take it back to the station, and see what you have. In fringe space, that salvage item is up for grabs for anyone to pick up at any time. So good luck there. Fly with friends. Next is ship cargo. So when a ship is destroyed, 5 to 95% of the cargo is going to be dropped in a container. This is a random roll. That container is instantly available both in core space and in fringe space to anyone around. So fly with friends so they can pick up your cargo if you get blown up. Sorry. The user salvage is protected for 1 hour right now in our design, so just FYI. All items lost or destroyed are basically destroyed, so you will not be able to recover them. They're effectively gone, just like in the real world. So good luck there. Let's see here. Insurance. Alright, so got some details on insurance, how it's going to work, so let's go into this real quick. So everyone currently has an MP ship, has 1 insurance credit. This is good for a free instant respawn of your ship. Post the use of that 1 insurance credit, you do have an option to get insurance. FF ships will always have that 1 credit available or infinite credits to use, but there is a cooldown in insurance. Insurance only covers ships, not modules, sorry. So ships can be recovered. The first time you recover a ship, there is no cooldown. You get it right away. Second time you recover it, 10 minutes. Third time, 30 minutes. Fourth time, an hour, 3 hours, 6 hours, 12 hours. Insurance resets every 24 hours, so after 24 hours, it's back to 0 per ship. This is to prevent someone with an FF ship from just kind of harassing any other players with the fact that they can just always spawn back. Creates a nice cooldown period. And then also if it doesn't have an FF ship but just has a lot of insurance credits. Insurance credits are per ship. They will cost, and these are approximate costs, TBD, can change, but this is where we're starting right now. A Scout class ship is 500,000 GRP or 500 GFC. Intrepid is 3 million GRP or 1,000 GFC. Corsair is 7.5 million GRP or 1,500 GFC. Prometheus is 15 million GRP or 2,000 GFC. And then a Destroyer is 45 million GRP or 4,000 GFC. So this covers insurance destruction for a ship. The only thing we're not quite sure how we're going to proceed with yet is if insurance applies in fringe space and core space, or is it just a core space feature other than First Fleet? TBD on that one, but we'll play around with this number. It is extremely expensive. As you can see, most ships you could buy for 15 million GRP right now in the marketplace. So just don't get your ship blown up. What can I say? It's be a good time. So let's jump now to 0.9 features. Actually, insurance is in 0.9. Ship destruction is also in 0.9, just to say. We have guild, chat, and social features coming in. I'm just going to high level the guild system. We're going to keep it nice and lean. Guilds will let you declare 3 different chat groups and 3 different inventory types: public, restricted, and admin. Guild members at stations will have access to whatever their guild leaders have provided them access with, so either public, restricted, and admin, or no access to items. So guild shared inventories will be a thing. Guild chat will be broken to public, restricted, and admin as well. When you are a guild member and you quit, either you get kicked from a guild or you leave a guild, there is a cooldown period just to let guild leadership know someone's leaving and make sure they haven't run off with all their items. Guild flags on user accounts, just so right now you guys are just augmenting your name. You're not going to need to do that. It'll add a flag for your account. A little bit more of an advanced feature that might be 1.0 is guild flags can affect discount pricing in stations. So Proxima would be the only station right now, but if you have a guild flag, you might be able to get a big discount on whatever the tax rate on the station is. So that's coming in 0.9 in our guild feature. Chat system, complete overhaul, friends list, guild list, local chat. We'll have a global chat, spam limiters, block bans. It'll be a nice comprehensive in-game chat system with tabs and DMing. I think one of the questions talk about like a local chat. If someone's next to you, you could just ping them. Yes, that will be included. Alrighty, so let's see here. What's next? Actually, that's it. So that's all my notes for our start of the 2020. This is not all the features that we have on our roadmap, but the ones I really wanted to talk about today and the information I wanted to provide. So let's start with the Q&A questions. And we're at 47 minutes on the stream. 76 people is still great. Glad you guys don't have any work. I'm at work. It's good times. All right. Yes, we got 54 questions here. I'm going to go through the ones I answered during the stream. I'm just going to refer back to a replay on this. The ones I didn't answer, I'll get into a little bit of detail. We'll take it from there. So let's start at the top of the list and go down. Alright, so first questions from Crypto Mover. There are a ton of various components and resources. Will all of them be useful in crafting, or will there be other uses? There will be other uses. A lot of them are used in crafting. We gave ourselves tons of flexibility for some more advanced features. Go take a look at our blog post of our worker columnist system. A lot of these components are going to tie into that, so just TBD on that one. Will crafting module knowledge be similar to ships? Well, yes, identical to ships. Same type of tiers, same type of system. You will see in the 0.8 update the way the skill system works for BPs and the consumables for BPs for the ones that you find, and how crafting works. We'll have a post on that one. So any updates or concerns over the royalty situation? Put further consideration ceiling list, deconstruction fee / royalty. No major updates on the royalty situation. Royalties are going to be created on... So I guess there's two fronts to this one. When you craft an item, do we want a royalty for that specific item, or do we want a royalty for the person who discovered the item? We've talked about both of them in the game and kind of leaning towards royalty really makes sense at scale for the discoverer of an item. If you discover a new item and you want to add a royalty on the sale for some fixed period of time, that might be a prerogative and something you could implement. This is a very complex system, and it kind of goes beyond a lot of how we want to how the game has evolved and the crafting system has evolved. Not saying we're not having it, but this is something that we're probably going to roll out closer to 1.0 or post 1.0 in terms of crafting. Might be sooner, but right now we're just trying to get our heads around and get the core crafting mechanics done. So hopefully you guys can understand that. Please go back to that system. Which system? I'm sorry, just looking at chat real quick. I'm in the system. I'm going to go over here for a bit. Alright. Next question. How many more crates before the pre-sale hard cap? I actually don't have an exact crate number because it's a soft cap or a hard cap of 5 million USD in total earnings through crate sales, which we haven't hit yet. Hopefully we hit it like next week. That'd be great. If you guys want to buy a ton of crates or get a ton of users, we won't complain. CSC will only be better for it. But I think we have a ways to go before we hit that total cap. Let's see here. How close are crates from being removed? 1.0. 1.0 will be this year. We'll leave it at that. So as soon as we get close to 1.0 or shortly after, we'll deprecate crates depending on how much items are needed in the economy at the time. This will be our standard resource crates. We'll still have skin crates, and we'll still have special event crates. Percentage, I don't have the percentage off the top of my head. We'll have to get back to you guys on that one. Is there a plan in place to curb inflation at some point? Well, inflation of GRP is basically dependent on user value of GRP at this point. We've done calculations right now based on current sales of items and comparing GRP sales to non-GRP sales, and the average value of GRP right now in our calculations, looking at all transactions including Ethereum, is roughly users are valuing it at 0.00001 cent. I think that's it, 4 zeros or 3 zeros and a penny. So it's really low. So the amount of GRP users can earn are limited by the missions they complete. We're so early in the game. I'd love to say that it's not going to inflate or it's going to deflate, but it's really hard to tell. Every change we make will contribute to that. Some of the fun, the risk reward of being part of such an early game development process is you're going to watch the currencies bump up and down. Case in point would be our MEA players. Haven't forgotten about you guys. You have a ton of resources that you mined early on, and the resource distribution then to what it is now to make the game more fulfilling is quite different. So we have been delaying distributing MEA resources into the client till we have a solid idea of what the final crafting numbers are going to be. And using that, we could work backwards and be like, all right, so if you had been mining this and do this, our expectation was this resource would let you build a ship, so we need to multiply it by this time to bring those in. So similar idea, like hard to say on GRP until we get a better handle on it. We're trying not to add too many things that deflate or inflate it. We're just trying to keep the game fun right now as we keep going. This was from Not So Good Empire. Let's see here. Chucky D is asking about a way to convert GFC to ETH. There is going to be no way that we facilitate at this time. Not in the roadmap at this point, and that's a tricky thing to do with us being, we want to do it on the up and up and correct if we do it. Do we need a really long docking undocking animation? We don't really need a really long undocking animation. Honestly, we just wanted to change the animation. It's been long. Actually, with that, I'll show you what the new docking drones will look like. So these are going to be the updated docking drones. I will make you a promise. When these go in, I will speed up the animation. Should be an easy fix. We'll make it half the time if that works better. But these are pretty cool guys that our team put together. They'll replace our current docking drones. Okay. Let's see. Next question. Can we get an option to enable and disable the docking animation? Wow, all docking animations here. Can we please go back to the old tractor beam system? So Crypto Mover, can we please go back? No, never really liked that one. I like this, but we could speed it up. There is no way to enable or disable. The animation tries to sync between all clients, but we definitely speed it up, so we'll keep that. Any plans to release other Dreadnought class ships before 1.0? Yes. I'll leave it at that. Release is an interesting word. Let's see if you find it. So, will there be any others? Yes, there will. Will you have to go find them? Yes. Will you have to build them? That's going to be the biggest challenge. If someone's actually able to craft, it's not impossible, but it'll take a tremendous amount of effort. Once the blueprints are found, I guess a guild would have to come together to craft one of these, and it'll be a new design. Or it could also be the Sigma design. It's not an exclusive design, just like you've seen the Pirate faction and the GFC faction. Just no one has the blueprints for it, except for the current Sigma owner when that goes live. Any news on exploration? Yes. So, we finally got the system in place that we want to use to make exploration work and engaging. It'll be deployed first with the new NPC drops. When you're, we call it our encounter system. So when you're in an asteroid belt and you're mining or doing a specific activity, encounters are triggered server side that then cause NPCs to spawn around you. We'll be using that same system in exploration. Details when it goes live. This was Poseidon Empire. So far, we give a new system to explore. Will there be uncharted systems? Yeah. Oh, there's a really fun thing that's going to happen, but I'm not going to tell you. But yes, it is in line with uncharted systems. So it's kind of mean. It really is a mean game mechanic, but at the same time, it's advantageous to the user that this happens to. TBD. Keep an eye out. So much fun stuff we have. Seriously, I mean, our game design team or our team, our content team has more content that we have in the game that's not enabled for you guys yet. And the reason is, enabling all these features, we want to do strategic rollouts and make sure we have other features locked down before we go forward with it. So I appreciate you all playing. We're looking forward to getting thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of users when we launch into 1.0 later this year. Hundreds of thousands of users would be even greater. So we will have plenty of content, plenty of great lore, plenty of fun stories and missions. We still need to release. We have 2 amazing bits of lore we still want to release. Been waiting to have some in-game content delivery before we drop those, so you should see those coming soon. Speaking of which, I've been asked a couple times by users, it's not on the list, or maybe it is, about font size control for Marketplace. Looking into that, at the minimum, we'll increase the font size in one of our next updates. What are the top 3 mining beams you would recommend for an Enterprise D? Top 3 for an Enterprise D. Actually, I have one that I really like equipped on my ship right now. I think it's the Radion Galtran Borer. It's a pretty solid mining beam. Decent range. Or, let me see if it's the other one. Yeah, I think it is the Borer that I really like. I mean, ultimately, for the Enterprise D, you could use a Vulcan Cascade Laser. It's huge. It'll take up a big chunk of your space. But, I mean, its mining rate's pretty solid. So, I'll toss you with those 2. Let's see here. 3 mining beams. Only halfway through the questions. I might start skipping these. Coming up to my 1 hour. But we'll keep going as long as I can. Let's see here. What's the best mid-range FF ship I should aspire at, keeping in mind budget is limited? Battle really use a ship to transport into Fringe. So that's a good point. So FF ships are probably your best choice for Fringe transportation. If we include insurance into Fringe space, which is a possibility, then MP ships and other ships could be an option, but just expensive if they get blown up. I don't know. Vulcan Mass Extractor and Precious Metals, according to Butter King. Okay, that's good. I'd go with that. So let's see here. You know what? You really kind of have to go with the Crusader. That is probably, if you're looking to be transporting items, like I think a big choke point in the game. Actually, just a reminder, everyone, we will be deprecating the Trilite fuel missions soon. So, going to be dependent on users and some limited NPCs to spread out the Trilite fuel from concentrated points like Sol System. So just a heads up, you might get stuck out there if you're not carrying fuel. Also creates a great opportunity for users to buy fuel and seed outside systems. Especially once the jump gate network gets set up, those systems that have no gates further could be great great market hubs for fringe exploration. Let's see what we have here. Next question. What guild court management? Okay, I talked about guild court management features. We will have a public API. I didn't talk about that too much. It's in our 0.8 roadmap. Mainly going to have a lot of market data, a lot of item location data if you are that player. We would figure out how to create a custom key if players only want to have access to their item and their location, public information about modules, basic information like that. We could, we're going to take it time moment by moment with the guilds. As guilds need features, we will address them as time permits for us as we approach 1.0. Goal is to make sure we have a fleshed out game with plenty of content and plenty of activity and stability for thousands and thousands of players we're going to hit later this year. I was going to say 100 of that. I want to say 100,000 players. We're going to have half the population of EVE. I feel it. I feel it right here. Well, that's the whole population of EVE. Let's go 200,000 players a month. Why not? Will insurance work? Yes, I threw the insurance information out there. So this is Crypto Mover and Easy in Crypto. Destruction of ships. I explained destruction of ships and core PvP systems. It will result in a loss of modules. I will say the percentage of modules you're probably going to find in your salvage recovery is going to be higher in core systems. Inventory. Overall dash show item location. Yes, showing item location is going to be in. It's going to be a part of the 0.7 updates. You will be able to find where every item you own in the game is at. And we're even going to change it to be able to recall items recall a specific item that is in a ship that you no longer own. So if an item somehow gets traded off chain and you no longer own that ship, but you had an item in it, you could recall that specific item. So that is happening. We do have a highly requested feature, Transfer All. So Transfer All will be in the next patch. It will show a progress bar, so even if you're transferring 10,000 items, it might take a minute or two, but you'll see a progress bar as it's proceeding and when it's done. So Transfer All is going to be very handy for those who are transferring a lot of content from one station to another. Unfortunately, it's all or nothing. It's not selectable. You can't select these items and click transfer, but that will come in future updates. Station locker folders. Yeah, inventory management is something we're looking at. It's currently not in our near-term roadmap for post 1.0 or pre 1.0, so it'll have to be post 1.0 unless we hit everything else perfectly and the game's looking solid before our release plan. Will jump gates cost? Yes, I talked about jump gate system updates, so that was Poseidon again. Let's see here, not so good. Load times. And idle load time. Current load scene takes about 30 seconds each. What would Lucid consider ideal load time? No load would be ideal, but it takes a lot more optimization before we get there, and the game's still in development, so hoping to reduce that as we move along. Ready for mass marketing is going to be 1.0. Once we got the features in, first-time user experience is clear and concise. Users know what to do, how to get in the game. Then we go live. Can we expect feature player created and paid content for fulfilling tasks, transportation kills? Yes, bounty and transportation tasks. I didn't talk about that in my 0.9 set, but it's one of our stretch objectives for 0.9. Adding like a bounty system, it'll work alongside the news system. So TBD on that one, more details as it fleshes out. How long till ETH is added? I talked about that. Could be in next week. Mining. Current pace of filling approximate ship while mining is close to the final balance according to the Grand Summit freight description. It's supposed to take hours. Mine at the moment it takes a matter of minutes. Yes. Mining ore quantities. There is still some adjustments on it. We're keeping it right now where we feel it's not too off balance. Yes, our descriptions need to be updated for sure on some of the equipment. Happy where it's at right now. There is some improvements we want to do. When you see the crafting recipes, you'll see why, because you're going to need a lot more stuff. Bottleneck efficiency, mining towards mining equipment. Right now, very little difference between, yes, yeah, mining beam quantities need to be improved between the sizes, absolutely agree. So asking, there's little difference between the 1x and the 2x beams, yes, we know that is something that's on our plate. I talked about mining updates, I'm going to skip that question. Incentivize exploring individuals. So what's your stance on making mission rewards user-specific to incentivize exploring for individuals? So we have a couple user-specific changes or making the missions. Mainly spawn points are going to be user-specific, no longer grouped. So if you both accept a mission, it'll be in 2 different locations most of the time. So you won't need to overlap or wait till someone's done, or if someone recently completed a spawn, you're sitting there for 10 minutes hoping it respawns. You won't need to worry about that moving forward. As soon as we push that update, we'll make an announcement when it happens. When can we expect to see more modules? Even maybe T2 plus stuff and blueprints. We'll go into this on the crafting. Our crafting blog post will explain how T2 is going to roll out, so I'm going to leave that there. It's a lot more to talk about, and I'm already over my time. Let's see here. Almost done. I want to make sure I go through at least every question that was asked. Let's see here. Will missions come back to 29 Gamma? Yes, missions will come back to 29 Gamma. Honestly, we turned it off for that one mission that we did, and we just haven't turned it back on yet. We'll do that. What happened to female dancers? They exist. Still there. They're a resource. You just gotta find them. Well, actually, I don't know if we have any spawn missions right now for them, but more will come. Tons of missions on our backlog we gotta push out. How many players will it take Lucid Sight to consider 1.1 successful? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say 200,000 for the month. No. Honestly, success is based on more than just a player counts, like engagement, what users are enjoying about the game, and consistency and growth. I'd love to see CSC launching later this year, and we're doing 10 to 20,000 players a day. That would be an awesome number to hit. At 1 to 2,000 players a day consistently, I think that's still a solid number, so I'd be happy with that too. Ship balancing. Let's see here. I'm going to skip ahead. Will there be multi-language support by 1.1? Yes, there is. Localizations post 1.0. Sorry for non-English speakers. But we want to get all the major features in first. Would you guys be able to come down and visit your headquarters next time in California? Yeah, as most CSC users currently know, just hit us up on Discord, and if it's a good day when you're down here, happy to show you around the office. Any plans to add additional stations? Oh yeah, tons of them. TBD. We do need additional stations. There's some important gameplay reasons you'll see soon. And there's actually, I think I have a picture of it. There is going to be a community mission starting soon that has a pretty decent reward. Where'd that picture go? 1 second here. Okay. So as you can see here, we have a partly completed station. It will be a community mission to actually complete this station. Users will have to come together, bring resources to this station, complete the construction, and enable some special features. So, TBD. So, let's go back. You know what? I think that is all the questions I will be tackling for today. I think I only had a few left, but most of them I covered. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to our CSC stream. I think we ended with 83 people. Awesome stuff. Anyone know if we're like top on DLive or anything? Front page. Oh, close to front page. We're number 3. Nice. I like that. Good times. Thank you so much for tuning in to the stream. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to reach out in Discord. Our community managers are great at getting those and getting feedback back to you guys. I'm going to look at chat real quick and see if there's anything I missed. So stations game. Thank you. Cool. That's it, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our first 2020 AMA. We hope to have more soon. Be prepared. You'll see Shelby on stream soon for all our titles, and she's going to help better communicate content to you guys, updates, features, and everything else. So, signing off. You guys have a good time. Safe travels.